because you do all these things, but when I met you, we talked about that. We had a little time to talk before. Like, you were, we were in class, people were doing stuff. You had finished whatever you were doing because I was substitute teaching and you were working on something, and that's how I started talking to you. Mm-hmm. But at that point, you were working on a film and you were writing, probably checking over a script or whatever. So you had already been acting. So what got you first? You always wrote, so I have a feeling you must have journaled or wrote poetry or wrote short stories or something all along. How did it unroll? How did it roll up and unroll, so to speak? Because you got to bring them all together and you got to unfold them.
Look at that.
That kid, he still looks the same.
Still, that's me about 280 pounds ago. But the thing that brought me to it, I was writing for a long time. My grandfather had given me a typewriter for the kids out there. That's a machine that used to make. And
that electric one, did you use to?
No, it was not electric at all.
You're old-fashioned.
Yeah, and so I had a typewriter for a long time, and I started writing little short stories on that when I was a kid. And I wound up going to Fashion Industries High School, which is a specialized arts school.
It's a good school.
Yeah, it's a decent school. But I went there for graphic illustration because there was a point where I thought I was going to be a comic book illustrator, and
which is storyboarding.
Which is also storyboarding. Yeah. But I realized that I hated drawing after a while, especially because in school they make you do it so much. So I got tired of it. But I still loved just writing the stories, and so I stuck with that. And I think my my facility for drawing stories turned into filming stories. Because then about that time I got my first video camera, and it's like, oh, I can just write this and then shoot it.
Yeah, but you were really, even back then, really hooked up because, again,
you
can't see. You had people from Purchase working with you. You did your first. You might roll through that and see the end of the beginning. You might find at the end of that, Yael, on your own, a little bit, teeny bit of the clip of his movie, because there's the first movie he did. You could always roll that behind us if you find it.
Yeah, I'd had friends who were staff at Purchase help me out and make some of that first film that I showed on your show all those years ago. Yeah, that was the first thing that I'd ever done.
And it was a feature. It wasn't a
short. It was a short. It was like we were trying to get money for a feature of it. It was called Barefoot and Pregnant, and it was about. It was based on stories of women that I knew in my family, and so I wound up making a bunch of shorts because, but we never actually got the feature made. I didn't make my first feature until X-Patriots.
Right, and you've been working as an actor and stuff for a while.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I tried other features, but I didn't really get one going until X-Patriots.
Right. So, how did you carve your path, so to speak, like in terms of mentors, education, training? Did you just, and you worked pretty much out of the gate because you were in the Cosby Show for a long time. And then I feel like there's so much I want to ask you, but talk about that. And you kind of juggle all of them all the time, so I don't know that there was just like, you're never just acting. You're working on something else.
Yeah.
And you're never just, you may go on something and have written it and produce it and not be in it. Like we have some nice partnerships I hope we'll talk about. But how did it work? Did you say, well, let me just try to get acting work first because you have to make the money?
Yeah, I tried first trying to get acting work. And even when I was on your show before, I guess I'd done some commercials and stuff. But my whole life I've always thought, well, I've got to diversify. And I've been lucky enough to be able to, like right after I did your show all those years ago, I wound up doing educational films.
Yeah, you had said you had been given a job for that.
So I wound up doing a lot of those, which became my film school. And between doing that, and if that work got slow, I was always lucky enough to pick up some acting gigs, and if that started getting slow, I was lucky enough to pick up a writing gig. I always just had to keep it moving like a shark, I guess. I'd never just wanted.
You never rested on your laurels, so to speak.
No, and if acting doesn't work, you know, there's got to be something else I can do, and I feel, and always felt, maybe foolishly so, pretty confident that I can find something if I just pushed hard enough or knocked on enough doors, and you know,
right.
Yeah.
And also